Ever wondered how to use a vacuum gauge effectively? Well, you're in the right place. A vacuum gauge is a handy tool that measures pressure in an engine's intake manifold. This device can become your best friend when it comes to diagnosing engine problems. Understanding the readings of a vacuum gauge can save you both time and money. It can help you pinpoint issues without tearing apart the entire engine. Think of the vacuum gauge as the doctor of your car. It checks the health of your engine by measuring the pressure. A healthy engine will show steady vacuum readings, while fluctuating readings could indicate potential issues. The beauty of a vacuum gauge lies in its simplicity and practicality. It's not just for professional mechanics. Anyone with a basic understanding of car engines can use it. Now that you know what a vacuum gauge is, let's dive into how to use it. Scene script. Ready to get your hands dirty? Here's a simple step-by-step guide to using a vacuum gauge. First things first, you'll need to install your vacuum gauge. Start by identifying the vacuum hose that connects to your intake manifold. Once located, disconnect this hose and connect it to your vacuum gauge. For the most accurate reading, ensure that the hose is tightly secured and that there are no leaks. Now it's time to fire up your engine. Let it idle for a couple of minutes to reach its normal operating temperature. Once that's done, take a look at your vacuum gauge. You'll notice a dial with numbers and possibly different colors. This dial is your guide to understanding what's going on inside your engine. Most healthy engines will show a vacuum reading between 15 and 20 inches of mercury at idle. If your reading falls within this range, congrats! Your engine is in good shape. But what if it doesn't? Well, that's where the fun begins. If your reading is below 15 inches, it could be a sign of a late ignition or valve timing. On the other hand, if it's above 20 inches, you might be looking at a clogged exhaust or a leak in the intake manifold. One common mistake is to panic when you see fluctuating readings. But don't worry, a slight fluctuation is typical and can often be attributed to the engine's idle speed. However, if the needle is swinging wildly, it could indicate a big problem like a worn-out valve or a leaky head gasket. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you use your vacuum gauge, the better you will become at interpreting its readings. And don't forget to consult your vehicle's service manual. It's a treasure trove of information that can help you understand your specific engine's vacuum readings. With these steps, you're well on your way to diagnosing your engine's health with a vacuum gauge. Your vacuum gauge readings can unlock a world of information about your engine. Let's decode it. For instance, a steady low reading may suggest a leak in the intake manifold, while fluctuating readings could point to a sticking valve or ignition problem. A rapid vibration? That's often a telltale sign of worn valve guides. And don't forget, a steady but low reading might indicate a late ignition or valve timing. Understanding these readings is like speaking your car's language. Let's do a quick recap of what you've learned today. We've covered the basics of what a vacuum gauge is, a key tool for diagnosing engine issues. We delved into the nitty-gritty of using a vacuum gauge, guiding you through the process step by step. We also tackled interpreting the readings, revealing how these can help you troubleshoot engine problems. Armed with this knowledge, you're now ready to use a vacuum gauge effectively. Now, you're equipped with the knowledge to use a vacuum gauge effectively. Happy troubleshooting!